Welcome to my channel. This is Mario Lloyd, also known as Real Estate Guru PK. On this channel, we talk about my real estate endeavors. We also have the top real estate producers and the top entrepreneurs in the country. Be sure to click the link below with Justin P with his Support Black Colleges marketing course. Also with Jason White's Crack the Code affiliate link, click that below as well. Also to support the channel, Webull, M1 Finance, Chase, Discover, Robinhood, and Public, a stock trading app. We hope you enjoyed this episode. This is Real Estate Guru PK signing up. How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode. We got a special guest. We got Gary Owens.
Hey.
Mario, you got a couple more energy.
What's up?
Around the bat, it was monotone. Hey, what's up? Yeah, lay back.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm really good.
Good.
How's Houston been treating you?
I like Houston. Yeah, I like Texas in general. I do New Year's Eve every year in Dallas every year. Yeah, Texas is dope. As far as stand-up, all the stand-ups love Texas in general. Mm-hmm.
Did you hit the 105-degree heat? Was you here during that time?
Yup. That's something special. Yup. That's a fact.
So the house you're building out here, is like real big, or it's like just regular?
What are you talking about?
Like it's like a 2-story, like 25, like over 25 square.
What are you talking about right now?
Oh, okay.
What? Okay. Have you gained some?
I got houses in different cities.
Right.
All right, that's cool.
Right.
What you talking about right now?
That's cool.
You must thought I was Drake.
Oh yeah. He said he was building a house out here.
What do you say, Katie?
No, it ain't no secret. I'm building a house out here. It's nice.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice. Cost effective coming from California to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get more for your buck out here.
Are you gonna hop in real estate or you just?
It's weird. I got a house I'm flipping right now in Atlanta.
Oh, for real?
And how it came about was just so random. I wanted to do business with some friends of mine, which is a no-no, especially and so he finds this property in Atlanta, and then I put the earnest money up to hold it, and then when it came time to pay for the house, nobody else had any money, so I ended up buying the house myself. Kind of like I call it my trap house in Atlanta.
Wow.
But this is why I always tell people be cool with everybody. So I noticed Desi Banks has been flipping houses.
Yeah.
So I'm on his Instagram page. I call him. I said, "Who you partnering with?" And he told me this guy, Gene Johnson. I don't know his Instagram. You can look it up. But that's all he does is flip houses and give seminars and everything. So I called him, and he's been a lifesaver. So he came in and was like, "We're going to do this. We're just going to tear it down." It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. We're turning it into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And the location's perfect. It's like if you make a right, you're in the hood. If you make a left, it's gentrification at its finest.
It sounds like Houston.
Facts.
I know it does. Yeah.
So that's what we're flipping it right now. So we're gonna start. We got all the permits. We start demolishing it. I want to be there when we knock
Demo
it down
day.
because we want to film it. You know. So we're gonna knock it down December 2nd, and then it'll probably be about 4 months build it back up. Then we'll sell it, and we'll document the whole process along the way.
Oh, nice.
How much you plan on making on the property?
I mean, if things go well, hopefully 300,000 or 400,000.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice return.
Geo Properties coming soon. Nice.
Yeah, that's a perfect world. Definitely should be no problem making my money back and then some.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your friends that gave you the house, are you going to give them equity or they
gave it to me?
Are they getting equity on the flip?
Anything.
Nobody put nothing up.
Oh.
I handled everything.
Gave it to me. No.
Yeah, it was just, you know what it was? It was a friend, and he's still a friend, and he got excited when I came at him. I said, because once my divorce went final, I could start doing whatever I wanted with my money. Because you got to be you can't do it. That's the worst part about divorce. Until it's final, you can't do anything because whatever you do, they could come after it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sitting here just like, so as soon as my divorce was final, I start calling like, I want to at least flip a house somewhere. And so, sorry about that. So anyways, I had to wait.
Okay.
So then I thought, hey, let's do it together. We'll go 50-50 the whole way. And the problem was when I realized he didn't have the capital in the beginning.
He had anything.
he had some, he didn't have enough.
Okay.
And I didn't want to get in business with somebody like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
So when my friend was talking to me, like, I'm gonna borrow money from this guy and get it from this guy. I got an investor. I said, I'm out. I'll just pay for it. I'm gonna handle it.
Yeah.
You know, and I figure one thing about real estate and property, I mean, worst case, you just hold it. So luckily I had enough that I could just hold it and just figure it out. And it worked out. Jesus Christ. So.
Well, if you want to flip in Houston, man, I got you.
For sure. For sure, I want to start flipping in Houston. Yeah.
How many doors you got?
I got 11 rental properties.
Oh, you got 11?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that I'm new to, you know?
Okay.
So I'm like trying to figure out, but I'm learning a lot off this first one.
Okay.
You know? So.
Did you have problems with your contractors at all, or everything good?
No. So far, it's been, I mean, the guy, Gene Johnson, he's basically the point man.
Oh, okay. So
you know what I mean?
He's managing everything for you.
Yeah, I'm trusting him. And I got people in Atlanta looking out, but and Desi's smart. I use Desi Banks as a reference.
I didn't know he was flipping. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can go to his page and then go to Gene Johnson's page. And, you know, that's what I always say, man, in my line of work, just be cool with everybody. Because, I mean, you look at comedians, we got liquor brands and cigars and everything else. You know what I mean? Like, and then people want to be in business with you. Because, you know, I know this guy, Gene, he wants me to put him on my page. Because you never know who's watching. I would have known about him if I didn't go to Desi's page.
Yeah, true.
You never know who's watching. So it's good. Works out for everybody.
Okay.
You talk about comedians like today, or even looking at comedians today versus back in the day. Like, what's the difference? Because we see Desi Banks, he's flipping houses. We see you're flipping houses. But what is the difference that you see, that you can tell from the comedians back in the day doing business to now? Do you think that, you know, you all are more business savvy?
I think.
Or entrepreneurial?
Oh, I think nowadays, especially comedians, they can build their own fan base.
Yeah.
And they can build finances through social media and the internet.
Right.
When I started, we didn't have that option.
Okay.
We just on the road get money from comedy clubs and promoters where we can get it. And then you're hoping like some TV exec sees you and puts you on a show. Now you build your fan base, and then the execs are coming to you.
Okay.
The agencies are coming to you.
Yeah.
You're not out there chasing them. They're chasing you. And that's the biggest thing. I think we've never been in a better age for stand-up, because you can't blame anybody.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, we all knew funny guys that never got a break. We was like, why hasn't he blown up? And you can't figure it out.
Yeah.
And nowadays, there's really no excuse.
Okay.
Like, as long as you're putting out content, you just keep firing out there and something will stick. I had something, you know, I don't know when this is going to air, but I had something I just posted 2 days ago. Random person in the audience yelled some stuff out about, am I gonna get with white women now that I'm divorced?
Yeah. We're going to talk about that.
And I just went, and I literally just out of left field, I just went, I said, oh, no. They're always going to be black. And I just went, ski ye. Just saying ski ye. The crowd went nuts. We posted on social media. It just went through the roof.
It went crazy, huh?
Went crazy. And it really was because I said ski ye. You know what I mean? Who knew?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Have you met Sexy Red?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
And you
But I appreciate her.
Which one? Sexy Red or Taylor Swift?
I did that. That's my post.
I know.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be Sexy Red.
Sexy Red. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have dinner with Taylor Swift. Just dinner.
Why?
Business. I'm always down to eat dinner with moguls.
Okay.
But if you're talking about just like hanging out,
chilling,
maybe, it'd be probably Sexy Red. Yeah.
For sure. I'm looking at Kevin Hart. He's, amazing, right? He's amazing. Looking at some of these other big comedians, I feel like you should be up there with them. And I feel like you are a celebrity, but a part of me feels like, it's almost kind of like you're a friend of the family. Like you went to school with my dad.
Oh, I can see that.
That's, did you purposefully do that with your career, or?
No, I think everybody.
I feel like you did that on purpose.
You talking about doing the black angle, being the friend?
Like almost kind of like you're a celebrity, but you're not as big as like Kevin Hart. I feel
Nobody's as big as Kevin Hart.
But I feel like you should be, though. I feel like you should be.
I mean, you could. I mean,
you've been in Little Man. You've been in Think Like a Man. You know, you've been in all of these amazing films and pieces that are staple in history, period. So why do you feel like you're not as big as Kevin Hart?
I think I can't look at it like that. I got to look at it like I'm appreciative of where I'm at. I have a loyal fan base. Yeah. I sell out almost everywhere I go. Now, granted, I can't sell out arenas.
Yes, you can.
But I can go to any comedy club and sell out on like a week's notice. Like even if I just want to come in on a Wednesday, and then I can do theaters. So I got a good fan base.
Speaking of fan base, let me tell you, I went to your comedy show in Dallas. I think it was like New Year's or something.
Yeah, I do New Year's every year in Dallas.
My cousins, they invited me. And I'm like, okay, Gary Owens. When I went there, the line was around the building. Like it was packed. It was crazy. They were laughing their butt off. Like we had a really good time. So you could sell out arenas.
What year was that?
That was, I want to say, was it last year?
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing it for the last 8 years.
I feel like it was last year. Yeah.
No. I'm not saying I can't necessarily. I'm saying to do an arena tour like that. Okay. Where you're just, they're like, I guess the new one right now is Matt Rife.
Okay.
Right? He's the new white guy. He just blown up in the last like year.
Okay.
Off TikTok. What he did, he tapped into a fan base that nobody really tapped into. He literally tapped into like young, I don't want to pigeonhole him, but it was pretty much young white females that probably never went to a comedy show, but he's an attractive guy. He's a young guy. He's in his 20s. And he's like, I call him like Harry Styles.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He kind of tapped in to that fan base. So
he's funny.
Them girls going to his shows have never been to comedy shows, but they're going to go see Matt Rife. But they probably never even thought about going to a comedy show.
Gotcha.
Everybody, you kind of find your audience organically. Like I know when Matt was probably putting his bits on TikTok and stuff, he didn't know this was going to happen. He didn't know, but it just kind of happens. So I can't look at like other comedians and be like, I want to be where they're at. I just got to focus on my career. And the only thing, okay, so you know who Bill Burr is?
I don't.
Okay, now he's doing arenas.
Okay.
He can come to Houston. He's huge, but I saw him at the airport probably about 10 years ago, and he said something that just resonated with me. And he said, man, you know what? I'm just going to be so fucking funny. They can't deny me. He goes, and that's all I can control.
Yeah.
And that's really all you can control. You just, like I said, you just keep being funny.
Yeah.
And I have a great life, so I'm not complaining.
Don't get me wrong, you are a celebrity. Right now, I'm fanning out right now because you are who you are. You're Gary Owens.
Yeah.
But I just always thought, like, why hasn't he kind of broke that ceiling like other comedians, you know?
You can't ever tell. And you don't know when it's going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't ever. I mean, look at Deion Cole.
Yeah.
Deion Cole's in his 50s.
He's amazing.
He's been grinding for longer than I have.
Yeah.
And just probably over the last 3-4 years, he's really like ascended to doing his own tour and stuff like that. You just never can tell when it's going to happen or why it happens.
Yeah, for sure.
What you think about Charleston White blowing up?
Oh, yeah.
See, he figured it out. You know, he knows people are going to him for him to say off the wall.
Yeah, he knows his niche.
Yeah,
sure.
almost I don't even know if he really believes half the shit he's saying. Really, I mean, look at him like, I don't know if he really believes that. Or he's going, it's almost like those Sports Center shows.
Yeah.
I when you do First Take and stuff, like those guys, you know Skip Bayless is going to root for the Cowboys. You know Stephen A. Smith is always against the Cowboys. And you kind of know that going in.
Yeah.
So they it's almost like, even if they don't really believe it, they're going to stick to their guns.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Charleston White, how can you be mad at somebody? Like, I don't like, even some of the stuff he says about Deion and stuff, I'm like, ain't nobody really believe that. You're not really taking him serious. Like, nobody thinks of Deion like that or his kids.
He's playing a character. He said he's playing a character.
Oh, 100%. You know what I mean? 100%. And when people take it all serious, I'm going, slow down, bro.
Exactly.
anything I see on the internet, I don't take it serious at all. Me and Michael Blackson had a beef years ago.
Yeah.
It was completely fake.
What was that about?
We're texting each other.
Okay.
I'm texting him, say this, I'm gonna say this, say this, I'm gonna say this.
Really?
I went on the Breakfast Club and I was watching it on a Friday and Tekashi 6ix9ine went on.
Okay.
And he was on there, he goes, this is gonna be the highest rated episode you ever had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I started looking at the numbers, and it was trending to be the highest rated episode. So I said, "Oh,
I remember that."
So I was going on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I called a friend of mine in New York. I said, "You know a makeup person?" So the makeup person came to my hotel. So I recorded Monday. They recorded the day before their guests. So I recorded Monday at Air Tuesday. So the makeup lady came to my room at like 4 a.m. It took like 3-4 hours to put all this makeup on me.
Wow.
And I never took off my shirt. I had the 6'9" all over my body, just like him. So I couldn't get the wig off.
Oh, you were in character.
Oh yeah. I went in as Tekashi and did the interview like Tekashi.
Right.
And that thing took off. So I was like, oh, this is all just, I was just a character.
Yeah.
But in character, I said Michael Blackson isn't funny, as he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
So Michael Blackson responded, and then we're texting each other laughing. I said, I'm gonna come at you on Wednesday, and then you post something on Thursday. And people took it serious. People thought we were really beefing. Completely not true.
No.
Then you had your wife come out to say the N-word.
Yeah. People got mad at that. Like, I remember when he did that. I was like this. Dude, shut up.
Wow.
That was hilarious.
Nobody's really mad about that.
I think we had the hurricane. So like we was on Instagram all day. So I literally was watching you and him going back and forth the whole time because we had nothing else to do. We were like,
oh really?
Everything was like flooded.
Yeah.
It's fun. You know what I mean? If you could just realize it's just all in that, because we were talking about earlier off air, like even with my divorce and I was getting dragged by my ex every couple weeks, it seemed like on social media. You sit in your hotel room and you start reading all the comments like, dang, are people really going to turn on me? People start saying he's going to lose his fan base.
Oh, yeah.
What is he going to talk about now? All he did was talk about his black wife. And then my first time back on stage a week later, I was in Baltimore and I realized, oh, they don't care. That crowd was laughing. And one lady in the back even yelled out, she goes, I love you, little cheating ass. I was like, I really need to hear that right now. So I was like, people don't care in the end.
So what really happened with the divorce, if you can get into that? Like, what happened?
What do you mean?
Did you was it just cheating? I mean, because sometimes.
No, I've talked about it. Like, I filed for divorce.
Okay.
It's funny how the narrative got turned to, I got caught cheating and she left me.
Right.
I left.
Okay. Why?
Well, it's funny. You just fall in love. It's weird. You just become roommates. So I don't think there's one reason why people get divorced.
Okay.
In my case, it was a buildup and a lot of stuff. I mean, there's so many layers.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go the route of like, I'm not gonna ever drag her because we do have kids, even though our kids are over 18. It's that's not gonna do anybody any good.
Right.
I know the truth. She knows the truth, and I go. So it's just like. It's weird. Like, I don't want to be, I don't want to say nothing bad about her.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because she knows all my good points and bad points. I know all her good points and bad points. So I can focus on the good or I can focus on the bad.
Did you all get married when you were younger in age? And I'm asking because when my mom dropped me off at U of H, my mom and my dad, my mom was like, you're going to meet your husband here. And I'm just like, but I just want to dance. Like, I danced on the team. I was captain. So I was like, I just want a dancer.
Oh,
not a cheerleader. Yeah, it's different.
What's
There's a difference.
Gary, you are no longer my favorite anymore.
I really am asking.
Oh, yeah, it's a cheer team and then a dance
team. Do you do football games?
Yes, and then I would dance on the sidelines. So it would be the cheerleaders. It would be the cheerleaders, like the Houston Texans, but more of dancing.
So
this is the Houston Cougars, right?
Cougar Dolls, yeah. The Houston.
Y'all like twirlers?
No, not the twirlers. So the cheerleaders would do stunts. Okay, we're not here for me, guys, but the cheerleaders would do stunts.
What years was that?
And then, well, I can tell you off. But no, listen. So they dropped me off and my mom was just like, oh, you're going to meet your husband. And I'm just like, I'm not really here for that. So I'm asking you because do you think that people should get married later on in life now that you've gone through a marriage and a divorce? What do you think about that?
Men should never, no woman should ever marry a man before the age of 25. Ever.
Why is that?
Because we're slower to mature.
Okay.
That's true.
And we have to wild out. We got to get out of our system. You got to let us wild out. Men, that's just men. We're different. We're wired different. I mean, women. I think here's the thing. I think in the beginning, we all want the same thing out of relationships. Men just want it from 100 women. Women want it from one man. And so people want to talk about this, but I think just a man's sex drive is higher, especially in their 20s. Oh my God, you must be crazy.
So you wilding out now?
Right. I'm like,
No, I'm not.
You chilling?
I wild out in my 20s.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You got it out. You
Yeah, somewhat, I guess. You know?
You got time?
No, I'm not wilding out. But I don't think any woman should ever get married to anybody in their 20s. And I don't think, as far as like athletes go, I don't think any woman should marry a pro athlete while he's still playing.
Ooh.
While he's still playing. It's just, you know what it is?
Distractions?
Because when usually you're in your 20s, you have access to everything you want. I mean, you got more money you probably ever had in your life. So that opens up doors socially, sexually, everything. So it'd be naive. If you want to get with an athlete, that's fine. But just know you're probably not the only one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you go in with that mindset, that's fine. I don't judge anybody on the relationships. But when these women get with athletes and then like try to drag him for cheating.
Right.
And I'm going, you don't understand what you and the average guy, the plumber, has no idea what that guy, the temptation and how much is getting thrown at him in your early 20s too. I had a friend of mine who's an athlete, and I'm not gonna say. No, I'm not. I'm not throwing dirt, but got caught out there with his girl. Got mad at him cheating. Kids got mad at him because you cheat on mom. And later on in life, his son became pretty popular in his own right and called his dad and said, "Sorry, I didn't know it was like this." Like it just took him to realize it. So I was like, if I give any advice to women,
don't do it.
Don't. Not everybody's Steph Curry.
Yeah.
They act like Steph Curry's normal. Steph Curry's abnormal. That's not the norm.
LeBron too. LeBron ain't got no scandal.
That's not normal. You know what I mean?
What's your biggest temptation that's come your way?
What do you mean?
In your career, like the females or whatever that has, tried to lure you into something.
I don't know if it's lure. It's just, you're like, whoa.
What,
this is not
right there. Or
right.
This is not.
Tell us about the groupies, Gary.
No. I don't know. It's just sometimes you're like.
So you go to another city and you prepare for your show, and then you're done with your show, and then what do? The girls come and
I think in the beginning.
Okay.
In the beginning, I mean, it's intoxicating.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you're getting in the spots for free. You're getting catered to, and you got women just talking to you. Probably wouldn't have talked to you if they didn't see you on stage or on TV or in a movie. Like, if I'm working for FedEx, I don't think this woman's probably approaching me.
Right.
So it can be intoxicating, but I think the longer you're in the business, it becomes less intoxicating. It almost becomes aggravating.
Yeah.
And then your guard gets put up because you're like, when is she got an agenda here?
Right.
And then I said, I knew I'd been in this business a long time. When now I go to cities and I'm looking up coffee shops.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, where's a good coffee shop at in the morning? Like I thoroughly enjoy my mornings now.
For
like
sure.
There was a point early in we weren't even married. We were dating, me and my ex. And I was in Sacramento. And I was at the comedy club from Wednesday to Sunday. And Sunday night came and she called me. She goes, you went out every day this week. I said, huh? Never realized it. Why am I going out every night in Sacramento?
Yeah.
She goes, you went to a bar or nightclub every night and partied. And I went, I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Man, to get me to a nightclub, one, there has to be some money involved just to get me out. Because we sit there talking about women. Man fans are the worst.
Really?
They the worst. They make it hard to go out. Man
Are
fans?
you serious?
Ask anybody.
What
Entertainers,
do they do?
athletes.
Are they just trying to like shake your hand?
They're just a lot. They're the ones with the phones out.
Okay.
Acting like they're your friends.
Okay.
They're the ones that are touchy-feely.
Right.
Like, hey, man, give me a damn near shoulder massage. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And they always right here talking to you. You're like,
with the
like,
breath.
Get out my face.
dude.
And the spit.
Hennessy Black and Mild.
What's up, man?
Oh, my God.
I can't. I want to go back to the beginning of your career because you said that you were in the Navy and then somehow you became a police officer, which brought you to Cali. So what was the first comedy club that you went to perform at?
First comedy club was the Comedy Store in La Jolla.
Okay.
So I get out to San Diego, and I I didn't know California was big. I thought all of California was LA.
Right.
I didn't
That's
know
all we hear, right?
I didn't know there was a Fresno, a Bakersfield.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Eureka.
For sure.
I was like, so I figured I'm gonna call this comedy club. I'm gonna get on stage and I'll be discovered the first night. I'm at the first night I got on stage. I had like
Hopes were high.
I had like
Right.
slacks. I was like in the mirror, like, okay, I'm good. I'm gonna kill him tonight. And then I got there and I went, oh, this ain't what I'm thinking. I'm about to do Delirious tonight
Right.
from Eddie Murphy. I don't know.
Oh my God.
This is nobody's here.
Right.
And I went on stage and got heckled by some of the comedians. It just didn't go well.
Oh no.
And I remember I was 20 years old and the comedians was kind of heckling me in the back. And I just remember I had a bottle of beer in my hand. And I said, hey, all you comics in the back. I said, keep heckling. I said, I'm only 20. I've been drinking this club all night. Why don't I call the cops and shut this motherfucker down?
No, you didn't.
And when I say the
No,
mic
you
got turned off,
didn't.
a security guy grabbed me, literally threw me out the front door. I did a
Like
front
Uncle
row.
Phil.
I was
Like Uncle Phil.
And I was like, I looked up and this one guy was like, don't ever come back.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit. And then
Oh no.
so I kind of got banned from that club.
For sure.
And I remember a couple guys I was in the Navy with, the next day I was talking to them. They go, what happened? I was like, dude, I'm telling the story. So then they start telling me all the quote unquote black nights I can go up. They go, dude, you can go up here on Monday, here on Tuesday. I said, for real? So then I started, it took me a couple months to get the nerve to go back up. But once I got back up, I started hitting all the black spots.
Okay.
And that's how I got on BET. Because
Okay.
I won a contest. It was the funniest black comedian in San Diego contest, and I won it.
Gotcha.
It was San Diego. And you know who was in the contest? Nick Cannon.
Really?
for real?
Yeah, but he was
Okay.
rapping. He was in a rap
Wow.
group called The Bomb Squad.
Oh wow.
And him and another guy was rapping together, and they was like two teenagers, like 16 years old, and they was rapping.
Wow.
And then
So did you meet him?
That
as
night
well?
I met
Okay.
him.
Okay.
and then later on, Magic Johnson had a talk show called The Magic Hour. It only lasted for 1 year. It's summer of '98.
Okay.
And
Wow.
Nick came to the house I was renting in San Diego, and I had a VHS tape, and I was putting this somewhat highlight reel together for Magic Johnson. And Nick was asking me about it, and he goes, man, I think I'm gonna start doing stand-up. I said, you should. And then he started doing stand-up, and then he started hitting all the spots. And then I remember we was up in Oakland, and they used to have this contest called the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition. And that's where people get discovered. And Nick went up that night and had just this hot 5-minute set. And the people from Disney was in the audience.
Oh,
and they saw him, and he was a young, good-looking dude. He's probably 17 at this time, 18. And they got him, they basically plucked him and was like, we want you to come and do some stuff for Nickelodeon and all that. And he was the warm-up.
Wow.
He got in with
all
Keenan and
that.
I
Kel.
know.
Nick was a warm-up for that.
Really?
And then they gave him, he got on it, got on the show, and the kind of rest is history. But I remember that was in the beginning. That was crazy.
Did you always want to do comedy, or was it okay?
That's
so
it.
You just always knew.
Yeah, high
When
school.
did you know you were funny? Like you can get paid to be funny.
I know about getting paid, but I knew I was funny from like junior high. I was always a class clown, most obnoxious, but I was prom king. I was popular too.
Okay.
So, and living in a trailer park. So,
Was your prom date black?
no, I wasn't going to prom. Wasn't going to prom. I was going to go to a baseball game, a Reds game, because I didn't feel like going.
Instead of prom.
Instead of prom, I went in. My high school was white, and I really went into white girls. Even at an early age, I was like, no, nobody really. I'm not really interested in anybody here.
Yeah.
Did you not feel like you connected to them?
I don't know. I think they weren't interested in me, and it was kind of mutual. Like we never went out, and I had girls like, even as teenagers, they weren't really on me. And then, but it was weird. Like if one black girl was at this spot, that's who I ended up talking to. Just organic, you 14, 15, teenage nightclubs, you ain't really hitting on, knocking nothing off. You're just kind of talking.
Yeah.
Hopefully you hold hands or something. But it would be one black girl, and I was like, why does this happen to me every time we go out?
Magnetically.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. So I was
We
just
do
like,
that. We do that.
I know it'd be one black girl in the whole club, and be like, and everybody be like, we know who you end up talking to, my boys. And then by the end of the night, where we were talking, I was like, how did this happen every night?
Right.
So
right.
I don't know, just kind of happen organically. But I wasn't going to prom, and then I got on prom court, and I was like, oh, I guess I gotta go. So they set me up on a blind date. And this is a funny story. They set me on a blind date. There was a girl from another high school, because all the girls in my high school had already been asked out. So I didn't have nobody to ask.
Right.
So it's a blind date. And afterwards, we went to my boy's house, and my boy had this big basement. And I go down the basement, like, everybody's making out. like 10 cups. That's what you do.
Oh,
Just
no.
slob it down.
Nobody's
No.
doing anything but making out, right?
Yeah.
And I'm down there and I'm just looking at this girl like,
Like, what we
I
gonna
still
do?
got the crown,
You-
the prom king. Like, yo, you trying to kiss the king, baby? She was like, well, I'm gonna go, and I was like, what?
wow.
And she goes, my brother, he lives down the street, and I was like, you want me to walk you? She goes, no. I was like, damn.
Oh no.
So I just kind of went upstairs watching TV, and then fast forward 7-8 years later, I'm doing stand up. I'm at the comedy club. Guess who comes in the goddamn green room and is my waitress?
She got some
That
time.
girl I took to
I
prom.
would have been like,
And I went, no, I'm not vindictive like that. If you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody. She wasn't rude. She was
Okay,
like, I'm going to go. She wasn't
Okay,
like, you
okay.
disgust me. She was just, she wasn't feeling me.
Okay,
You
right.
can't be mad at people. You ain't feeling
Right.
me. But
And
I
it was
remember.
a blind date as well. So
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
But I just remember she walked in. I kept thinking, God, that girl looks familiar. And it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It hit me. And I was like, did you go to Hamilton High? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, I think we went to prom together. And she goes, mm-hmm. And she, I think she thought I was going to bag on her.
That's what she remembered.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, she remembered. That's why she came back.
I wasn't rude. I was like, oh, that's it. I was just having fun with it. I said, I knew you looked familiar. All weekend I've been trying to remember who you were. I mean, I'm at 26, 27 now. I'm not really tripping, but it was funny. I was like, what are the chances? What are the chances?
Wow. And what about white audiences? Like, why don't you connect with?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I think I noticed in the beginning of my career, I was only doing black rooms, black audiences. And then when I started to do the improvs and Funny Bones, you get in a mixed crowd in those rooms. I was like, oh, my act is really left. It's too far left. And I didn't want to be a white guy that's putting down white people. I've seen white comics do that. And I was like, I didn't want to be that dude. I was like, so I want to make sure everybody's
What do you
good.
mean putting down white people? Like, what do
We
you
can't dance.
Oh,
and
okay.
we talk like this. Hey guys,
Oh, okay.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't. It seemed like you're just bagging on white people the whole time. And I was like, I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
Like that to me is like that's pandering. That's pandering to your audience.
Yeah.
So I noticed, I go, man, my act is really like it's just really black heavy. So I was like, I got to start formatting my jokes so everybody can get it, and I don't feel like I'm attacking a certain group, because I really was like, I was becoming that dude. I was like, it was all about almost making fun of white people, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
So
I understand.
but nowadays, if you go to my shows, I mean, obviously theaters are different. I think comedy clubs, you're always going to get a big mix. I bet you it's 65-35, 65% black, then 35 everybody else, white, Latino, Asian, all that other stuff. But
What's the most you ever made? Well, no. What's
Made?
the first amount you ever made? Do you remember your first?
$50.
For real?
Wow.
$50
To do
at Club
stand-up?
Metro in Bakersfield, California.
Wow.
And I thought, oh my God,
This is
I'm
it.
balling.
Yeah, this is it.
This is before gas was expensive.
Okay.
I was like, and then they go, you want to
Was
come
it
back next
cash?
week? I said, yeah, it was cash.
Okay.
I think it was a 50.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
okay.
damn, I can make
Well, you
money
want
on
to break
this.
this 50.
Because in the beginning, you're not making money. You're just going up for time.
Oh.
And then the first time somebody says, yo, I'm going to pay you, I was like, what?
Okay.
Hell, the first comedy club I did was El Paso, the comic strip in El Paso. And the guy gave me $500, but I had to get myself out there. I drove from San Diego to El Paso. Drove,
Texas?
huh?
El Paso, Texas.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
a long
Drove.
time.
You drove.
Left at like 5 in the morning, got there like 5 p.m.
No.
12 hours straight. My
get
S10
there
pickup, had a crack in the windshield, hauling.
Hey.
And I get there and I was like, they put you in a condo with the other comedians.
Okay.
Which is a nightmare. Any comedians know comic condos are disgusting. Usually one of the waitresses are cleaning it.
Oh my.
Dirty.
Oh my
You don't know what
goodness.
you're walking into. half
No
the time.
respect.
You don't know what you're walking into.
Yeah.
You definitely want to bring your own sheets.
Okay.
So
Sound like camping almost.
yeah. So I get there and I said, okay, I'm trying to save as much money as I can because, obviously gas. I just spend money on
course.
gas to get here.
Yeah.
So every day when I got there, I got a gallon of milk and I got a box of Cocoa Puffs.
Okay.
That was breakfast for the 4 days I was there. And
You
then
like your chocolate.
Arby's, facts. Arby's had
Yeah.
the 2 beef and cheddars for $2. Boom, that was lunch.
Arby's.
No fries? No curly fries?
No.
I'm just kidding.
$2.
You got it? Oh,
They do
okay.
have
right
on a
now?
budget. Want a budget.
Right now, that's $6 on
Yeah,
on
right,
lunch,
right,
and I'm
right.
eating cereal for breakfast.
Yeah.
And then you go to Comic Club, they got a kitchen.
Okay.
So at that stage in my life, I'm just eating burgers and fries. So I was
Right.
like, I get a burger and fry while I'm there, and then I
Yeah.
get something to go take back to the room.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I was doing the math. Like, dude, I came up this way. Why?
Right.
You know? I think I had 2 beef and cheddars for the drive home.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
Yep.
I can't even.
Oh my God! I thought I came up. I was like, I got home. I was like, all right, I got like $430. You know what I mean? That was the first pay
In
gig.
your pocket when you made it back.
Man, and I was in the Navy.
Wow.
Shoot, I thought you can't tell me nothing.
You know what?
Benefits.
Yeah, you said something. You said that I was just doing shows for free. And I feel like comedics nowadays, they don't really have that practice like you did, right?
You
or
can.
is it kind of like social media, like posting on Instagram? That's their practice.
No, that's different.
No, that's different.
Stand-up's different.
Okay.
Stand-up is scary.
It's not sketches. You can't.
Okay. Because you have that instant response.
Yeah, it's a different art form.
Okay.
It really is.
Yeah.
You can't really compare stand-up to sketch.
Is it easier to
They're both
freestyle?
art forms, and there's people really good at the sketches on social media.
Mm-hmm.
But then if they choose to go into stand-up, it sometimes it doesn't translate,
Okay.
and people
He
are
said
like,
that too. DC
Huh?
Young Fly said
It
that.
doesn't.
It's way different.
"Oh, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Energy's different." And you think I'm going to hit them with this one line I got on this sketch that everybody commented on social media, and you're like, and they're just looking at you.
Now, let's be messy. Who has not translated? Like, they're good on Instagram, but they're not good on stage. Let's be messy.
I'm not gonna be messy because I don't really watch stand up like that. Like I'm
don't?
so into me.
Okay.
And I made a conscious decision years ago. I'm not gonna watch like hour specials because I
Then how
want
do
to
you know
know.
who's good, though? How do you know who's good and who's not?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter?
I'm
Okay.
focused on me.
Okay. Okay. That makes
I
sense.
just I'll see a clip.
Yeah.
Here and there of a bit, and I'm like, that was a funny bit, but it's not for me to say who's funny, who's not. If you got a fan base,
then you
that's your fan base. And this is the thing: the second you talk shit about somebody on a podcast, they might have something they want to do with you, and they see you talking shit about them. They're like,
That's it.
Done deal.
"Yep."
Cross his name.
I don't try to burn no bridges.
I like that. No, I
We
like
all
that.
got, and we.
I told you,
everything.
you're a good guy. You're a good guy.
But
I've
we
tried
know
to-
stand-ups know who's funny and who's not.
Okay.
We don't have to say it. We can kind of look at each other like, we know.
Okay.
We
How
know.
though? How? Is it a look? Is it how somebody talks?
You just
Is
know.
You just know.
You just know.
Okay. Okay.
And we all know. When you're on shows with people, you'll be like, oh, this is an easy night. And if
Sure.
you got to follow some people, you're like, I'm about to bring the fire. You know what I mean?
Sorry for him.
There's some people you don't want to, you don't mind following, but you're like, I got to be on my A game because they about to bring it.
Okay.
Is
You
it
know?
easier now to network with other comedians versus in the
yeah.
beginning, like working with other comedians, reaching? I mean, of course, they're more accessible now because you can just DM somebody and say, hey, like you did.
Desi with the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's easier to stay in touch with comedians than it used to be. It's just we're at such a good age right now.
Yeah.
You can literally make a lot of money off of TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I don't think Instagram's paying people, but those three are, you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I noticed a lot of stuff on TikTok that's funny, but it's like you wouldn't expect it to be that funny, but then you see how many people react on TikTok to something so simple that's like a 2 or 3 second clip of just something we even do at home, you know, something crazy, and it's like, oh, that is funny.
And you
get
can't tell.
a lot of traction. Yeah.
Think
it's
what I've learned
crazy.
about TikTok. You can't tell what's going to hit.
You really can't.
I'll post something like,
You can't
this is going to
predict
go
it.
through the
Yeah.
I
roof.
know it's gonna
Absolutely.
be
Nothing.
right.
And then the sexy red shit.
Yeah.
Who knew? I'm like,
Yeah.
that?
That
But you know what I think it was? That clip, since that's the newest one I just posted, I think it resonated because one, I think it let a lot of people know, like, oh, Gary's still in touch with the
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
He's still in tune to what's going on out there.
Okay.
You don't ever want to be out of touch.
Right. Right.
So just the fact that, and especially a white dude
Yeah.
saying ski yee, they was like, oh,
funny, yeah.
he's still, okay, he still knows what's up.
Popping.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So who are you dating now? What's her name?
What I learned from my marriage, keep your private life private.
I feel
Be
it.
quiet.
I don't want to put nothing out there because people don't want you to succeed.
Yeah,
They don't
that's so
want to see
true.
you happy.
That is so true.
I've seen friends of mine and mostly women, no offense, but they want to be in love so bad. And as soon as they meet somebody, they
Rush it.
posting this dude all over,
Every
and then all of a
day.
sudden the next week you're like, I'm just healing.
Right.
They got the broken heart emojis. I'm like, oh, it just happened. A week ago, he was like, God finally brought this man into my life.
And you've never been on his page, by
I've
the
been
way.
waiting for him. He respects me and my children. Next week, man, ain't shit. Leave me alone. I'm healing. One thing I've learned, I got to put me a priority. I'm like this.
It's me season. Right. Self-love.
You got people out there that they misery loves company. And I'm like, I'm not putting my private life out there.
Yeah, good.
Like
what is something that nobody knows about you? What's one thing that nobody knows about you?
That's a good one. I don't know. If you don't know, then I don't want you to know.
There you go.
One thing that we can know that somebody like
I don't know. That's a tough one. Shit, I don't know.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that. What would you say to your younger self? I do this on my show. What would you say to your younger self if you had to talk to your younger self? What would you say?
Oh, wow. That'd be a good one. I probably would have let me think. When you say young, you're like a kid?
It could be a kid. It can be back when you were first starting your comedy career.
As a kid, I'd probably tell myself like, this is very temporary because my home life wasn't great. So I was like, this is temporary. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Don't take it. And I learned like family isn't. I hate when people like family over everything. My family's so fucked up. They're not over everything.
Yeah.
They are like, no, I can't talk to them. They're
You're like, yeah, no.
They're like something else.
Okay. That's good.
Do you have any movies coming out that?
Well, we're on strike right now.
Still.
Yeah. Well, the writers settled, so hopefully the actors are next. But I had a couple that came out, but we weren't allowed to promote it. So I got one called Dottie and Soul that just came out October 1st on Showtime. And it's actually a good movie. I didn't realize we shot it, and then COVID hit. We had to shut down, and then we came back, and a freaking second wave came. We shut down again, and then we ended up switching our location. We were filming in Oklahoma City, and then we had to move to New York. It took like a year and a half to film this movie. It should have taken 6 weeks, just because we'd start and stop. And it ended up being good. I didn't know what it was going to be like because I forgot what the movie was, really, because you're shooting at a sequence, and you're like, I forget what the goal is here.
What's going on?
You know
What's the
what I mean?
plot?
So then I saw it and I was like, oh, this movie ended up being good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. I've done some movies that I was like,
Right. Yeah.
But this one I was like, oh, it's a good little movie.
Right.
What was your
It is.
easiest movie? Like your funnest, easiest on set lines, all of that. Like a good time, you do it again.
The Think Like a Man movies were fun. 1 and 2. And I don't even know which one was I had a better time. I mean, both was just, 2, I had a bigger role. They expanded my part. But yeah, just, that was one of those movies, like, movies are like summer camp. It's like you're having fun with everybody. And then when it's wrap, you all go your separate ways and you just run into people. But it's a little heartbreaking because you get really close with people
on set.
And then you barely see them. It's like weird. Like, you're like, oh, this could be my friend for life.
Right.
And then you're like, I don't even have his new number. I'm like, this, you got a new number? You didn't even tell me. You got married?
And I wasn't invited? What?
You be thinking.
What about Little Men, being on the set of Little Men? I remember watching that movie and saying, wow, you literally took this small role and made it like so much more bigger. I feel
the
like
cop?
The cop,
really?
yes. You and
that's the
Damien.
goal.
Damien was the other cop.
Yes, yes. Like, it was amazing.
That was the most excited I ever got for a part because I say in entertainment business, once you're on set, it's not exciting, it's work. When a movie comes out, you did the work. The exciting part is getting the phone call saying you got the part.
Okay.
So for Little Man, I'll tell you why that part was the most excited I ever got for a movie because I had left my agency, I had left my manager, and I had moved from California to Ohio. And I said, it'll happen. Things will just happen. So my manager, who's still my manager this day, I found her in 2005. I flew out to LA to have a meeting with Keenan, Sean, and Marlon. They were trying to put a TV show together about an interracial couple. That didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
My manager at the time repped all the weigh-ins. So she called me in her office. She goes, I think I could do something with you. I said, I ain't got nothing. I didn't even try to front. I got nothing.
Do your work.
I said, let me check my schedule. I said, yeah, I'm free.
Yeah.
So she, like a month later, she calls me and said, "Hey, Keenan wants to bring you in for Little Man."
Wow.
I said, "All right." So I had to do it on tape. So I did on tape, and then I remember I was at the Cheesecake Factory, and she called me and she was like, "Yeah, you got the part." I said, "What?" She's got the part. I said, "In Little Man?" And she goes, "Yeah." I go, "No way." And then she goes, "All right, we're gonna call you. You got it? You got your passport?" Because we shot it in Vancouver. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go." And it was like the next week I was gone, and it was just it went from I moved from LA to Ohio. I didn't have any representation. All of a sudden, I got a manager. And granted, I had a little in because the Wayans was doing it and she repped the Wayans.
Right.
But still, I had to audition, and I could have like fucked up the audition.
Right.
And I got the part. So I think that was the most exciting. And then that was a long shoot because we were shooting 2 movies at the same time because we had to shoot our scenes and Marlon had to shoot his on a green screen to match it.
Oh yeah.
Because they had to CGI his head on this little guy's body.
So how was that? Like having to shoot with the stunt double?
Yeah, he was a little guy.
Was it? Oh, okay.
But he read Marlon's lines. He read it. He knew the part. I felt bad for him because he had to memorize this whole movie and he's not in it.
So he was saying the lines and everything.
Just what Marlon was saying, he was saying.
Okay.
To us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I felt so bad for him. I was like, damn it, nobody gonna know.
Wow.
And we'd be in scenes, he'd be killing it. He'd be making us laugh. I was like, damn, he's killing this scene, but nobody's gonna know.
Wow.
Which bag is bigger, acting or comedy?
Stand-up.
Comedy.
All day?
All day. If I do a movie now, and it's different for everybody, but I take a pay cut because movie they want you for 5-6 weeks, and I could be at 5. That's 5 weekends of work. So you take a pay cut, but the comedy clubs and stand-up's not going anywhere. So you do it not knowing what's going to stick and what's going to. You're like, who knew Girls Trip would take Tiffany to another level?
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
I think Think Like a Man took Kevin.
Yes.
It took Kevin here. It took me here because when we were in the table read for Think Like a Man, I was like, it was all set up for Kev just to shine, right?
Yeah.
And I was always saying, like, I think Jerry Ferrera said it. They said after we got it from the table read, we knew it was set up to hit a home run. We just didn't know how far he was going to hit it.
Yeah.
And he knocked it out of the whole ballpark. But, and he readily said, he said in his book and everything, he goes, we were all a team though. We wanted to see him shine. Nobody was like, there was no jealousy on that set.
Yeah.
We all wanted everybody to do their thing. And there was even one scene where I didn't ad lib and like Kev pulled me aside. He goes, Gary, just fucking go, man. Go. I was like, all right, I'll go.
Yeah, sure.
But
before we go any further, I want to make sure you get your flowers because I feel like people nowadays, we don't give people that are alive their flowers. I think we got some flowers over there for
literal
you.
Flowers.
Literal flowers. So I'm going to give that to you. We are going to give that to you.
I'm giving to the girl I'm dating nobody knows
there
about.
There you go. For you go. Free flowers.
My off social media girl.
Because you're doing amazing.
Put her head
You've
behind
been
the
doing
flower.
amazing, right? You've been doing amazing for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
So those are just, a little token of our appreciation to you. Now we can continue on with the interview.
These HEB flowers?
They might be HEB.
Hey, I like HEB.
I know all HEB. I was showing I know Houston. That's what I was showing. HEB ain't Ohio or California.
No, but what's next for you? Do you feel like you're going to write a book? Do you feel like you're going to travel the world with your girlfriend that nobody knows?
I don't. Yeah.
What's
I don't know what's next. I'm film. I don't know when this is going to air.
Right.
I'm filming my next special November 3rd and 4th in San Jose. So that's going to be we're going to title it On My Own because it kind of is. It's the first time I'm on my own personally. I'm on my own professionally. Like it's just, I'm on my own and I'm doing it myself. So, I think I'm actually going to talk about my divorce a lot. And it's not what you think. It's not dragging my ex. Yeah. It's everything I went through to avoid a process server. And I talk about what she went through.
Yeah.
I don't try to just minimize the stress she had too. Because I think when you get a divorce, you just look for the bad. And you don't realize, man, she was probably scared. I don't know if she'd ever admit it, but you're scared because your lifestyle's changing.
Yeah.
Like dramatically, both of ours, So, because when you're only worried about one house
Yeah.
You don't have 2 house payments. You don't have like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
that's scary for a woman.
Yeah.
Scary for me too. So I'm talking about avoiding process server. I'm talking about how some dirt people did to me during my divorce. So it's not really about her, you know. And I'm also trying to give like little relationship advice. Like I think we overthink things. So I like, you know, I kind of always say just keep fucking, and you'll make it in a relationship.
Oh, that's your. I'm like, whoa, okay.
I think that's the key right there. Like,
Smash and you'll be all
look,
right.
you'll be all right.
Okay.
In a relationship, I go, when all else fails, just keep fucking and you'll make it. I'm telling you from experience.
So that's your like keen advice. Like I'm married. That's your advice
We
to a married
overthink
couple.
shit in relationships. We overthink. We're like, what? We're not talking. We're not doing this. I'm like, look, you do it, and then watch how a man opens up. Watch how we start talking more.
Is there anything you wish you had done different, or do you feel
In the
like
marriage?
everything happened for a
No.
reason?
I wish only thing I look back on, I wish I would have probably left earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, because we knew it was over. You knew it was over. And this ain't I mean, we knew it.
It was known.
We knew it. Like, there's a lot of things people don't know, but I mean, deep down,
Y'all had kids and stuff though.
you're
so, I
in
mean,
it for the kids a lot. You're trying. You don't want another man coming in the house raising them. And they
That
hold you
too.
together. Like I don't want to. I wasn't miserable when I came home.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I came home and I was like, I freaking dread going home.
Yeah.
It was more like I knew it wasn't popping off.
Yeah.
In the bedroom
Wasn't what it
when I
used to
came
be.
home. So I knew that wasn't happening. And you know, you're just kind of going through the motions. And I always used to say to myself, like, how's this going to end? How is it? Because you always think it's going to end. Somebody's dying and you're old. But I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I'm like, how does this end? Does she finally leave me, or do I gotta leave her? It was coming.
Did the kids feel it?
I don't think they did. I think
Really?
honestly, I think we did an amazing job of hiding it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they took it so hard when it happened. Like we did, me and her, I don't think we rarely argued in front of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't a yeller, so they didn't see like any of that. So our arguments was always like alone and either in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, the car's an amazing place to have an argument.
For real?
You know what I mean? The door's closed. On the road. You know what I mean?
Stuck in there, you can't go nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
You gonna talk to me, woman?
I tell you, one time
We gonna argue.
we were going hard in the car. She was in her car, I was in my car, and we're arguing on the way to get something to eat. And it's one of them knockdown, drag out couple arguments. And I got so mad, and I'm behind her. I'm not even paying attention. The light turned green, and she's right in front of me. I didn't realize I rear-ended her. It was a hard one. It was like, boom. Her car flies out in the middle of traffic. I'm like, oh snap. And we're still mad, but now like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Are you okay?
You all right?
You all right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You
And
hungry
I'm
still?
making a joke. I'm like
Yeah.
this. You got your insurance card? Do we gotta get our insurance involved in this? You just want to get it fixed?
Don't call the police.
She's
Do
like,
not
how
call
did
the
you?
police.
That was honestly, it's the worst wreck I've ever been in. I ran into my own wife because we were arguing. It was like, because I'm paying no attention. I'm in it.
You
We're
saw
going back and
green.
forth. And I saw green. I was like, you know, when you're arguing,
Yeah, right.
boom. And I had the SUV. She had like the Lexus car. So it really fucked her car up.
That sucks.
Oops.
If somebody wants to get into the entertainment industry, what's your advice for getting into the industry? Do they need a manager? Do they need an agency?
No, that's the last you need to think about in the beginning.
Okay.
You just focus on the art. Whether you're an actor, get into acting classes.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a comedian, get on stage. If you want to be a sketch person, just start posting stuff. And eventually you'll find your voice. You'll figure out what people is hitting for you.
Yeah.
Like you
know.
said, they'll come to you. The people will come to you. If they see what you're doing and what
Yeah.
you're putting out, they gravitate towards what you're doing, your wave.
Yeah. Have you guys watched the guy that does the food stuff, the Aki way? You know what I'm talking about? He goes, what's next? He goes, sure. And he's always got celebs coming into his little bodega in New York.
No.
And he makes the food for them. You can look at his videos and see how it just organically came about. In the
Yeah.
beginning, he goes, what do you want? And then he's cutting the meat like, I'm cutting meat. I'm putting peppers on it. 'Cause
Right.
he makes these wild sandwiches. Then celebs come in. They're like, put gummy bears on my stuff or make the bread Pop-Tarts. It's wild stuff. But you could watch his videos. I find it interesting. You could tell how he evolves.
He grew
over the last year or so. Because now he's all animated. And he's in the zone now when the celebs come. But in the beginning, it was just like, what do you want?
Yeah, right.
Argue it, or you cut the meat. Now it's like, first you cut the meat.
Yeah.
Then you add the peppers. And me is like, we're adding peppers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
He found it. And now he's in the zone.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's just, he kept doing it.
That's so awesome.
Well,
thank you.
Where you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh.
Where she said, arenas. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could do that now if you wanted to. If you wanted to, Gary, you could really do that now.
Yeah, but you want the quote unquote machine behind you. You want them to like put a tour together, knowing you're going to sell tickets, and they're marketing it and everything.
What's the machine?
I don't know. You get Live Nation is a machine.
Oh, okay.
AEG is a machine. The machine behind it.
Okay.
No comedian is like quote unquote doing their own tour. It's too much stress. Not that you could do it. It's just a lot. You need a good team behind you to do a straight up tour.
I see.
One more question. Do you plan on producing your own movies?
Ooh.
I mean, yeah.
Or like a comedy tour and have like DC Young Fly, Desi Banks, Just Hilarious, Carrie Boy.
Those are great. I'd rather just do my own.
Oh.
I think most comedians would.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Because you know what when you do the ensemble tours, like I'm in Chicago this weekend, I'm with like 5 other comics and we're all headliners.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have as much control and your time is limited. So you don't have the control like you do when it's your stuff. You're like, all right, do 10, you do 10 and I'm gonna go up.
Close. Yeah.
And when you're on the tours, it's like they're telling you you're gonna do 25. And then you don't want to go long because you want to respect the people coming behind you. And if you're headlining, you get pissed if somebody goes long because now they might cut my time down or the audience is now tired when I go up. So when you got your own stuff, you're in complete control. Like when I do my shows, I only have one person open up for me because I want to do an hour, 15, hour 20. I don't want to. So I'll be like, just do like 20, get them going and I'll go up.
Yeah.
That 50 Cent event, you did really good.
Oh, yeah. But even that, I mean, you look at it, you're talking about the Tycoon Fest.
Yeah, you only got like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, well, I got off early. I was supposed to do 15, 20, but I knew that laugh was as big as, he was going to hard to top. When Joseph Sikora came out and we got in an argument, Joseph jumped the gun, and I said, hey, I'm going to talk about you, but I really want to start going in. All of a sudden, he had the mic, he goes, he was like, I'm not here for this, Gary. I go, oh, I wanted to be like, too soon, bitch. Not yet. I got more shit to talk about. But he jumped in, and when he came out, the crowd went fucking ballistic.
I was there.
I was like, good night.
Right.
Drag me off stage.
Yeah.
What am I do? Come out and then talk about, this bitch was talking about that.
Right.
No, they've been like,
yeah.
But that was one of those shows that comedians, if you notice that show, every comedian, all they did was talk about fucking.
Yeah.
Everyone. I was like this.
B. Simone, DC, and Just Hilarious.
Yeah. I think those, and this is not this isn't a knock on those guys. I just think they haven't really found their voice yet. Yeah. When you talk about B. Simone, DC, Jess, because their act is so sex heavy. And sex is funny as shit because that's stuff you don't see in public. Right. It's like you're opening up the door, like you're letting them in. But I think, especially everything DC's been through, and even B. Simone, if you talk to her off stage, she's got a lot to offer. And I just think eventually when they find it, I think that's when their comedy will really take off. But they're finding it, they're still like
making their way,
figuring it out, but they're figuring it out with an audience. We got to figure it out without an audience. We got to do open mics. They're figuring out, and everybody got their cameras out. So I think once, man, if especially DC, if he could really tap into, because the pain is the best comedy. Yeah. And it's not necessarily the laughs. It's you're connecting with your audience. If you look at Deion Cole's last night, really talked about how he lost his mother, and he ended it like, there's some men out here fucked up because we don't have nobody out there for us. And then Ali Sadiq, when he talked about his sister passed, everything, it's just, when you tap into that, that's when I think you really take off. DC's got especially DC, all the stuff he's been through. I said, man, he starts tapping into that, he could be the next one, for real.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Hopefully we get you back.
Yes.
Real
I
soon.
doubt it, but I'm just kidding.
That's cool.
I'm just kidding.
Enjoy your flowers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna lie my ass off.
This for you.
Baby
Yep.
girl,
I know.
thinking about you.
The
now.
one nobody knows about.
All right. Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Appreciate
Thanks.
you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.